not mention the cybersphere, which is generally overlooked in a crisis of this magnitude, but our resident cyber expert Ram Levi suggests we need to pay better attention to something else. Ram, lay it out for us.
Yes, basically our ability to fight this pandemic is based on the fact that we can coordinate and communicate. This communication is digital, but hackers are also paying attention to the fact that millions of people are starting to work from home. This means that banks, insurance companies, basically all the companies in the world are opening up their networks, allowing their employees to work from their home, from where they're not supposed to work, and hackers are taking advantage of it. And how are they doing it? Well, in every possible way that you can think of. First of all, they're transitioning from the regular Trojan banks into coronavirus-related banks, Trojans. For example, they will send you information pretending to be coming from the World Health Organization. They will send you information pretending to be from advisories from your local ministries of health. And that will cause people to click, and when they click, they can now take control of their computers and then do one of two things. Either hijack their credentials and then take money from their banks, or ransomware. And we see a lot of increase in ransomware attack against individuals. The other thing is fake news, of course. And here we see a lot of fake news aimed to create panic and misinformation. The EU is now blaming Russia for spreading fake news. And the FBI said today that they're investigating whether a foreign actor, probably Russia, is creating more panic in what's happening in the US. So we see a lot of energy going into...
But you're looking at people being attacked. I want to look on even a more basic layer. Everybody's working from home. Everybody's still communicated. For example, I just learned about this Zoom thing that everybody's, meeting with. It's a Chinese company. We don't know where our data is going to, but leave that aside. How can I make sure that our conversation about a new development as a secret we want to share is not being hacked, attacked, stolen by someone else?
Well, the ordinary person cannot do it. What we can do is work with companies that we trust, like Google, like Facebook, like,
Thank you very much. If I must trust them.
Yeah, some of us trust. Facebook is going in the right direction when it comes to privacy. Mark Zuckerberg has given a few public speeches on where they're going in terms of privacy and data protection. I tend to trust Facebook more because of what happened to them because of the Cambridge Analytica and the Chinese companies.
So you're saying that if I'm to work from home, it's better for me to do a FaceTime chat than to use Zoom, the Chinese Zoom?
I believe so, yes. Or Google, or Skype. But use what you can trust. But it's not enough to use what you can trust. You got to make sure that your endpoint is secured as well. Because even if the entire communication is encrypted and no one in the middle can break the encryption and hear what you're saying, it doesn't mean that someone is not sitting on your laptop and actually recording everything that you do at home.
Let's talk about this phenomena that we are overseeing now of everybody's working from home. So for many, it's the end of the world because people losing their jobs, etc., etc. But take Facebook, Google, Apple, and such employers who used to hold huge places in, let's say, California, Silicon Valley, employing tens of thousands of people. Suddenly, they all work from home, and if it works for a long time, they might not bring them back, and pay less rent, etc., etc.
Yeah, I see it in my company. We became much more efficient within a week. The time is used much more efficiently. The conversation we have become from 1 hour where you have a small talk into 30 minutes where you discuss only what you need. Yes, the digital revolution has allowed us to do things that we couldn't do about 10, 15 years ago. But there's something missing, which is the human interaction. The small talk in the kitchen.
Is it necessary in 2020?
I think it is.
We are from, we are dinosaurs from an old generation. Maybe the new world doesn't need it.
Maybe, but I think what we do need is the ability to communicate. Once we can communicate, even if we don't physically touch each other, then I think it's pretty much most of the way. But at the end, there are things that are...
You miss hugging me, I understand.
I miss hugging you and giving you 2 kisses on the cheeks, of course. Yeah, but still we need the personal touch. We need, we need the high five. We need the kiss. Sometimes we need the hug, and this is something that we cannot do over video.
I see. And where do you see it going in the future? Because we used to say that every century we see, some kind of a new development or an uprise or something like that. How do you see this pandemic of the coronavirus changing your world, our world, the technology world?
Well, first of all, it will prove that we can do a lot of the things more efficiently and more digitally. This will mean that we will need to secure that because people will start working from places that they're not used to be working from. But what I'm worried about is the fact that we will see in about a few weeks a wave of cyber attacks, and not only that, a wave against the critical infrastructure that allows us to communicate. And without the ability to communicate and coordinate, then the ability to fight the pandemic will dramatically go down. And that's what I'm worried about. And this is why we need to make sure that the infrastructure that we are so dependent on right now is secured.
Not enough viruses coming from biological warfare. You're bringing us cyber viruses as well?
Yeah, we copy everything from the real world to the digital one.
Unbelievable. Ram Levi, thank you very much for joining me.